Hi, it's Paul Wolf from howtoplaybass.com here with the third in my series of lessons looking at simple bass lines for beginners. In this lesson we're going to look at Let's Dance by David Bowie. It's a pretty easy tune. It's only really got two sections. It's got a verse and it's got a chorus, and the last 4 bars of the chorus also serve as the intro. So I'll start with the verse and then we'll look at the chorus, and then when I've done the chorus you'll see the 4 bars that are needed, that you need to do for the intro to actually stick on the record and play along from the beginning. It's a pretty easy tune. There's going to be a PDF, as with all the songs in this series. The PDF will only be available to you if you head over to my website though. That's howtoplaybass.com. It's notated on the sidebar here on the YouTube, or on any of the other video sites that I'll be posting this to. There's a sign up form on every page of my website. Go there, put your email in, you'll get some free goodies anyway, and you'll also get the PDF of Let's Dance when it's available. Okay, the verse, it's a pretty straightforward pattern. It's an 8-bar pattern. Now, it's in B flat, and we're going to play it here, which is the 6th fret of the E string. So the first bar starts like this. And that bar is B flat, 6th fret of the E string, sorry, A flat, 4th fret of the E string, G, 3rd fret of the E string, and F, which is the 1st fret of the E string. Okay, that's the second bar. Now those notes are B flat, you play that twice, which is again 6th flat of the E string. And then you go down to A flat, which is the 4th fret of the E string. Play A, 5th fret of the E string, and land back on your B flat, which is the 6th fret of the E string. And then the third bar, it plays the same again. And then it goes up, the 4th bar of the pattern goes up to E flat, which is the 6th fret of the A string. Okay, and there's another walk down similar to the earlier one. It's E flat, which we've done 6th fret of the E string. A flat, which is the 4th fret of the A string. C, which is the 3rd fret of the A string. And then the last note of that little pattern is B flat, again 6th fret of the E string. Now when you go to the 5th bar, you can drop in from time to time as you're playing through this song some slides from the B flat down. So you'd go. Okay, so those next 2 bars, they're in G flat, which is the 2nd fret of the E string. The pattern's this. So it's all just G flat, and then at the first bar there's a little pickup at the end of it which you can hammer, and the notes are C to D flat. C is the 3rd fret of the A string, D flat is the 4th fret of the A string, and then it's back to the walking pattern, which was the first pattern that we looked at, the first bar. Okay, and that's the 8-bar pattern. So it's pretty straightforward. It's notated out fully in the PDF. As you're playing through, don't be afraid to try to throw in a few variations, bit of rhythm, especially as it's got kind of a walking bass feel. So you can play around with the triplet rhythm, and some slides work really well as well. Okay, we're going to look at the notes in the chorus now, but before we do, don't forget that the last 4 bars of the chorus also make the intro. So when you're playing this with the record and looking for the music notation or the tab in the PDF that comes with this, the last 4 bars of this section also form the intro. Okay, the first note of the chorus is A flat. You'll have noticed in the little play-along bit I did with the MIDI file that there's a lot more space in the chorus in terms of the bass line. Anyway, the first note is A flat, which is the 4th fret of the E string, and that note's held for 6 beats, and then there's a 2-beat pause. Then we go up to D flat, which is the 4th fret of the A string, and then we go up to E flat, which is the 6th fret of the A string. Now those notes are held for 2 beats each, so those bars are, then the second bar of that pattern. And before we get back to the A flat, there's just a little fill, which is D flat, which is the 4th fret of the A string again, and B flat, the 6th fret of the E string. Then you're back to the A flat and just repeat that 4-bar pattern. So I'll play the whole pattern. 2, 3, 4. And then you're back into that pattern again. Okay, when you've played through that pattern twice, you go back to A flat, so again the 4th fret of the E string. Then you play a little fill where the notes are B flat and C. You play B flat here, which is the 6th fret of the E string, and C at the 3rd fret of the A string, and then that leads into 2 bars of just whole notes, the first one of which is F, which is held for 4 beats, the second one of which is D flat. F was the 1st fret of the E string, by the way, and D flat is the 4th fret of the A string. And then the final 4 bars, and these are the 4 bars that are the same as the intro, they're basically E flat, which is the 6th fret of the A string, and they're played in 8th notes. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the last bar, and that's just holds the last 2 beats of the last bar are whole quarter notes, and it holds the first one is the E flat still, which is still the 6th fret of the A string, and the second one is D flat, which is the 4th fret of the A string, and then you're back into the... Okay, so that was Let's Dance by David Bowie. It's a pretty easy tune, nice and fun to play through. Remember, there's a PDF that will go with this, but to get it you do need to head over to my website and subscribe to my e-zine, and then you get the location of it when it's available. Look out for the next one. I think it's going to be Moondance by Van Morrison. I'll see you next time.